What's up, guys? Bryan Lebo here with a new type of video for you. In this month's update video, I asked you to submit some questions so I could go ahead and answer them in a forthcoming video here. So today, I've chosen a few of your questions to discuss and answer. Okay, the first question came from Mike. It appears that low inventory and low interest rates have been the key to seller's market here in Las Vegas. What key metrics are you watching for a leading indicator that the market is starting to unwind? All right, now that's a great question, Mike. Now, first off, let me say that I think when the market does change, it's actually going to happen very quickly and likely at the end of April to mid-May when the mortgage forbearances actually come and mature. Now, to directly answer your question, what you want to look at first is inventory. When inventory starts swelling, that means supply is outpacing the demand. Typically, this illustrates a retraction in the market. For this to really be indicative, we also need to monitor the monthly sales. If sales are down and inventory is up, that's a pretty clear indication the market is starting to go sideways on us. If and when this happens, keep a close eye out for abnormally high rates of price decreases. You'll start to see neighborhoods where there's an excessive amount of listings and few, if any of those listings, are actually under contract. When you start seeing a ton of decent homes just stagnating out there, you inherently know that the demand has substantially decreased. All right, here's an awesome question from Paul. Which neighborhoods have the least turnover? Is there a real estate industry metric or statistic which tracks turnover? This is great. The real answer here is that it's actually overly complicated. No matter where you live, there's always certain neighborhoods that, for whatever reason, are highly coveted. Now, some neighborhoods, because they have, basements or something like that. Some, because they're just very family friendly, and some of them are located within popular LDS wards. But in the generic sense, what typically has the least turnover are all single-story neighborhoods in upscale areas where the homes are about 1,700 to 2,000 square feet. Not many new homes are built in this market segment, and older people tend to flock to these neighborhoods. Now, older people tend to stay in their homes substantially longer than younger people, and especially, growing or contracting family type of neighborhoods. Now, this leads me to one of my favorite questions. Yada, yada, yada. From what I've seen is that single-story homes are in great demand, and therefore sellers are asking a lot of money per square foot for these homes. It seems that home builders are not building enough one-story homes to meet demand. Now, this is a great question with multiple angles to it. Okay, first off, yes, I 100% agree with you. I'm a huge fan of single-story homes myself. The problem is this. Years ago, this city built tons of small single-story homes that were affordable, but that was also when land was abundant and the cost of that land was inexpensive. Think about it this way. If I'm a builder, I can build, say, a 1,200 square foot single-story home with a 2-car garage. Now, to fit decently on a lot, I'm going to need about 5,000 square feet. Now, if I shrink that lot out to 4,000 square feet, you're going to be able to just reach out your back door and just touch the wall. Now, keep in mind that this home has a footprint of actually about 1,600 square feet when you calculate that 2-car garage into it. Now, if I were to add a second story to this home, I can add, say, an additional 1,500 square feet to make the home a total of 2,700 square feet. The foundation costs the same, the lot costs the same, and even the roof costs the same. I more than doubled the size of the home for only about 20% of the cost. Obviously, this method is much more profitable if you're a builder. You can charge a lot more for that bigger home, right? So now you understand why single-story homes are much more expensive than their 2-story counterparts. As for price per square foot, I'm actually going to do an entire video explaining why price per square foot is often a terrible metric to place too much emphasis on. Okay, let's check out another question. Do you think the rents will come down once foreclosures and evictions pick up due to saturation of rentals? Or are there not enough rentals as it is to cause rents to come down? Okay, first off, I don't think we're going to see a wave of foreclosures or short sales on the horizon. But let's just pretend that they are. Right now, rental properties are just as hot as homes for purchase. Now, in the event everything goes to crap, if people are forced to sell their homes, guess what? That's right, they'll need to rent. So the more people sell their homes and don't purchase, the more demand there will be for rental properties. Additionally, and I might talk about this in a forthcoming video, but if Congress doesn't pass legislation to subsidize rent in the early part of next year, there's actually high speculation out there that upwards of up to 1 million rental properties in America could come up for sale and just be thrown on the market. That's about 20% of all of America's annual sales, all happening in roughly the first half of next year. So that would be like a 40% increase in American inventory because it's in half the year. So if a wave of landlords decide to cash out and are tired of tenants and toilets, that also means that there's less homes for rent. Less homes for rent, increasing demand from people selling their homes, you get the picture. If anything, rents could potentially rise for single-family homes. Okay, now for our last question. Do you think there's going to be a flood of homes for sale come April because of what's going on with mortgage forbearance? This is an awesome question. Now, I'm really going to discuss this as we get closer to the new year. But for now, this is the single largest concern I have for our market going into next year. First off, let me say, I don't think any one thing is going to cripple our housing market. I think it's going to be an underlying culmination of multiple factors all hitting us one after another. First, I'm worried about negative narratives, meaning the more articles written about an impending housing crash, the more people will believe that there's a housing crash. The more people believe in something, the more likely it is for that something to actually cultivate itself. Next are rent subsidies. Like I mentioned a moment ago, if tenants are evicted for non-payments in January and a significant percentage of landlords elect to just, cash out, get out, and just sell their homes out of frustration, we will have higher inventory. What happens to unemployment benefits and stimulus? Then finally, 80% of people with loan forbearances or mortgage forbearances elected to extend until April. So come mid-April, I'd say maybe 5 to 10% of Las Vegas homeowners are going to get hit with a year-long past due mortgage bill. Most people just cannot afford to catch up on a year-long bill. Now, will this alone be an actual flood of homes by late April to May? I actually don't think it's going to be a crippling flood of homes, but I do think it very easily could be the straw that breaks the camel's back because of all the other pent-up housing pressure coming onto the market at roughly the same time. Again, we'll talk about this probably in December when I try to make some predictions for the forthcoming year. All right, guys, thank you all for commenting and emailing me your questions. Thank you for watching. Please just smash that like button and subscribe to help the channel. And I'll have your November market update video for you guys in just a couple weeks. Stay safe and just have a wonderful November, everyone.